Hi everyone. I decided that I wanted to do a chocolate dough sour bread. So I'm going to start with making a chocolate starter. I'm actually pretty excited for it. With how our breads turned out yesterday for Thanksgiving, I got really excited, hoping that, I got the starter back on track, in case that was it, that was making all my doughs flat. So I'm very excited. I actually have two starters going. This one my husband made a bread out of yesterday. That turned out really well. It was just from some discard that I had in the fridge, and he fed it, he let it do its thing, and the bread turned out amazing. It's actually in the refrigerator right now, cold proofing. I fed it again this morning. It's very cold outside. I live in New England, so right now it's a real feel of 32 and it's super windy. My temperature inside says it's 69, but it's chilly. So even though I fed her around 8:30, Betty just doesn't feel like being active right now. Again, it's really cold in here, so it's gonna take a while, I guess. And it's 2 o'clock right now, so it's been a bit. I'm not worried about it. This one, I am feeding more of a 1 to 10 to 10 ratio, just trying to get it back on track in case it was too acidic. So it's only 3 grams of starter with 30 grams of flour and 30 grams of water, and I'm just going to do this for a few days. I'm on day 2 right now, just to see how this one does, because this is the one that I was using with all my doughs that were coming out flat. So yeah, so let's see how that goes. So for my chocolate dough starter, I am going to measure everything out. I don't need to measure out my jar because I know that this one weighs 400. And fun fact, this one actually weighs 375, even though they're from the same place. But because this one came with a little black defect on the container right there, that's how I can tell the difference that this one is 400 grams. And that's with the band on it. So my scale is zeroed out, and I'm going to weigh out 25 grams of starter. I'm doing this with just some discard from the feeding this morning, so this is pretty hungry. And there's no acidic smell to this one, which is good, because before, I know a few weeks ago, my starter did get really acidic. It was just really hot in here, and I think that it peaked earlier than I thought. Yeah. So hopefully now that they're back on track. So I kind of missed like the peak time for feeding a few weeks ago on that one. All right, so that actually weighed out to 28 grams, which is fine. I'll just add 3 grams of everything else. All right, I'm gonna zero that out. And then 50 grams of water. So I also have a lot of schoolwork that I need to get done, and I'm avoiding that. So I'm like, chocolate sourdough, yes. Actually, I have found, okay, so I did 53 grams of water. I'm going to mix that now, just to get my starter dissolved. I just found this recipe on Google, like the Google AI. So I hope it comes out okay. There are a lot of chocolate sourdough recipes that I'm very excited to try. This one I'm just gonna make just basic right now. Probably add in some chocolate chips when I do stretch and folds and everything like that. It just sounds so amazing. And then chocolate peppermint. Oof. Do that for like a Christmas party. Yes. Oh, I think I'm onto something here. Okay, so I zeroed that out. That's nice and mixed and dissolved. Okay, so then you just add in your dry ingredients, which is going to be 50 grams of flour and then 15 grams of cocoa. But I'm going to add an extra 3 grams to all that because I did an extra 3 grams of starter. And I still want to try to keep it pretty even to what the recipe says. Gotta keep that in because I zeroed out my scale with that in there. Oops. That's all right. It's not the first time I've done that. All right, 53 grams of flour, clear, and then I'm going to do 18 grams of cocoa powder. That. 15 grams of sugar. I try to avoid recipes that call for sugar because I try to keep everything as low sugar as possible, but once in a while it won't hurt. Mixy mix. I want to make sure it's all incorporated, no dry clumps. I don't know why I say that. Make sure everything's wet. From what I also read too is that the cocoa powder absorbs differently, so it is going to be thicker and you may need to add more water because and it was a pain to stir because it's really thick. And fingers crossed that it'll work. There's a little bit of a white spot right there. All right, here she is. Very thick, mixed all the way through. I also read that this will proof faster than a regular starter because of the cocoa in it. And it should be ready to use in about 4 hours. It's 220 right now, so around like 620. Guess I had to count. Math is not my strong suit. But it's 69 degrees in here, 32 degrees outside, very windy, very chilly in here for being 69. So it might take a little longer, but I'm gonna try to find a nice warm spot. More than likely, I'll probably just pop her in my microwave and keep the light on, because then at least get away from the cold. And we'll check back in 4 hours. So let's hope this works. I'm checking on the starter. It's 9:15 at night. Here it is. I might discard some of it and feed it, only because I'm getting ready to go to bed. And I don't want it to be hungry in the morning. I want to be able to use it when I wake up. So I'll probably just do that. I'm going to feed her because she's ready. And then this one is the one that I'm trying with a 1 to 10 to 10 ratio. So 3 grams of starter, 30 grams of water, and 30 grams of flour. She hasn't really moved much, so, which is fine. I've noticed like some movement like within like 24 hours. So I've been doing that a few days. So yeah. See you in the morning.